Hello and welcome. My name is Zaffar Iqbal, and you are watching the Mojo Story. A dangerous escalation in rhetoric is unfolding as Pakistan's Defense Minister Khaja Asif, you can see on your screen, he has accused India and Afghanistan's Taliban government of waging a proxy war against Islamabad, even floating the possibility of a conflict or a war with India. Although he has admitted in the past also that there were some strategic miscalculations made by Pakistan that has landed them in this trouble. Simultaneously, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif prepares to attend Donald Trump's Board of Peace meeting, seeking clarity on Pakistan's role in Gaza stabilization force, while ruling out any move against Hamas. Meanwhile, US Iran tensions are intensifying after inconclusive nuclear talks in Geneva, with Washington issuing fresh warnings, Tehran conducting nuclear drills with Russia in the Sea of Oman, and Khamenei rejecting zero enrichment demand of the US. To get a sense of the geopolitical situation and what's happening in our neighborhood, we are today joined by an eminent panel. Let's introduce our guests. We're joined by Major General Dhruv Katoch. He is the Director, India Foundation, a defense expert, uh, veteran. Welcome to Mojo Story, General Saab. And we're also joined by Bilal Baloch, who's a journalist. If I may start with you, General Saab. We have been hearing these statements of Khaja Asif in the past also. He has sort of repeated that statement, and he has said that the war with India is a possibility. At the same time, now he's saying that India and Afghanistan are coming together to wage a proxy war against Pakistan. There can be nothing more hilarious than this, because we remember when uh, uh, Taliban took over Afghanistan, it was the Pakistani ISI chief who was in Afghanistan sipping tea and giving out a message that they are in control there.
Thank you. I think everything which Pakistan is doing is a cause of concern. Not so much. I'm not so much concerned about the war rhetoric which their defense minister is giving out. I won't put any credence as far as his statements are concerned. But I think the situation within Pakistan is a cause of concern. Today the situation is such that their military is losing 2 to 3 personnel on an average every day. And such losses by any military are unsustainable. It also impacts very severely on the morale of the troops. They do not have the capacity as of now to regain control in Balochistan. I want to make this point very clear. When you're looking at the complete Balochistan landmass, it's a very huge area. It is not a war being fought of territory.
Yeah.
So the freedom fighters from the Baloch freedom fighters, they can get together at a point, hit a target, and get back. They don't
Okay.
have to defend anything. But the Pakistani military has to defend every point, and they are losing the capacity and capability to do that. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, they are facing again very serious problems from the Tariq-e-Taliban Pakistan. I think the Pakistanis have given them a different term now, but I will refer to it as the TTP only, as far as uh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is concerned. And thirdly, even in places like Gilgit-Baltistan, they are having problems. And we have recently seen what happened in the bomb blast which took place on a Shia mosque, where a very large number of people were killed and were injured. Now, surprisingly, every time this happens, they blame India. Uh, the very point is, if they wish to blame India, I've got no problem. They're a sovereign country, but they must tell us where are those bases in India which are carrying out such sort of activities. The way we pointed out to them, all the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hizbul Mujahideen areas which were in Pakistan and which we took out in Operation Sindoor. Now, can they do that? No. The answer is no, because there is nothing in India. Should they wish to strike any terrorist base of such like base in India, there is no base because everything is inside Pakistan itself. I think that is their problem. Because they are finding it difficult to handle this problem, it is very easy to ratchet up war rhetoric to keep the country united. It is always this bogey which they use. When there is great internal instability within Pakistan, then this question comes up: Bharat se khatra hai. We are, India is going to attack. India will do this. There will be a war, so that you can get your people together again. But I think that even the Pakistani public has got fed up. In my view, the time has come that they understand what is happening, and unless they reform their own internal systems, I don't see any change in the environment coming about. This is typically a Pakistani problem. It has got nothing to do with any other country in the world. They have to address their problem. They have to address the concern of the Baloch people, of the Pashtuns, of the other people in the country. They have to ensure that the majority of the funds don't continue being taken in by the army and something goes to development. Now, you don't do any of these things, there will be problems. And the easiest answer, of course, is to blame external powers, Afghanistan in this case, or India. But it's not going to cut any ice. India's got nothing to do with it. This I'm up with great confidence. I'm saying we've got nothing to do with it. It is their problems. They must handle it, and we hope the sooner the better for peace in the region. Zafar.
Right, right. Bilal Sahab, it's their problem. They will have to handle it, and they will have to handle it through reforms. Do you see possibility of reforms taking place in that system, or it is just a theoretical assumption? Those reforms are never going to take place. Had that been the case, that would have already happened.
Actually, Zafar Sahab, we already talked about many occasions that Pakistan is not a country, it's a banana republic. We all know who is control Pakistan. You can say as a label he is a defense minister of the Khwaja Asif, but he is not, he has no power. He is a powerless. Even their prime minister is a powerless in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And come to your question, let me tell some of your audience that who are the Taliban basically. These are the people, they were made by some masters, the owners, yeah, you can say father of the Khwaja Asif. I mean, these Taliban made by Pakistan intelligence agencies and Pakistan army, no doubt. Everybody know about it. Even Khwaja Asif by himself in parliament said that we have been used as a tissue paper. I mean, a defense minister call himself is all country as a tissue paper. I think no need to debate and no need to talk. But well, I let's tell your people more that when you remember that when Taliban came to Afghanistan in 2021, who was jubilating, who was singing the song, who was very happy, who was distributing the sweet? Pakistani people. And even Khwaja Asif himself wrote on that Twitter, it's a victory of the God, victory of the faith. So these are the same people, they have been funded, trained by Pakistan army and the Pakistan establishment. So telling them with the making them their nexus to the India, I think this is a totally joke. Pakistan as defeated. I mean, Pakistan being, you can say that Pakistan has lost their credibility. Pakistan lost their everything. Now each and everything to just to make their shadow to all as India, India proxy, and a lot of things you can see not from today, from the decade. वहाँ पे अगर कोई बकरी भी गुम हो जाए ना, they can say India is responsible for that. So अगर
Right.
ये situation हो, if a country come on that situation and that standard, they can say anything. But I always told this is not the India. These are the same people. They were trained by Pakistan army.
Yeah.
Or Abibi, even today they have a good Taliban. Even
Yeah.
today we are talking. They have a good Taliban. They have a good proxy. So ये कहना कि that is these are the proxy of the India. I think they cannot. hide their fault. They cannot hide their failure. They cannot hide anything. I mean, the world is knowing each and everything. These are the same people. They were trained by Pakistan army, and
Right.
everyone know about it.
General Saab, when I was saying that, when you pointed out that it's a bigger worry, the fact is that when Pahalgam happened, even before Pahalgam, uh, the Pakistani army chief put out a very uh, a statement that caused a lot of anger and resentment in India, where he said that Hindus and Muslims are different. And days after there was this Pahalgam terror attack, and now again we're seeing some sort of a build up, blaming India for whatever is happening in Pakistan. Do you actually feel that there could Pakistani military in a fit of desperation can do something that can escalate the things?
You see, the way I look at this escalation bit is I don't think Pakistan is in a position to actually undertake a war. And India has got no desire to go to war. So if Pakistan escalates it, they know the consequences because we have very specifically told them Operation Sindoor is not over. You do a terrorist attack and we know what to do. And this time the hitting is not going to be done on the terrorist post. We are going to hit at the sponsors of terrorism, that is the Pakistan army. Now, the Pakistan army today is already committed in Balochistan. It's committed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and it is not in a position to win. That is the whole point. That they are not in a position to control it because the problem is not military. The
Yeah.
problem is political, and there is no way in which the Pakistan military, with the use of force, can even dream of doing it. The stage has come today, Zaffar Sahab, that the Baloch women are picking up explosives and are willing to commit suicide. When a society comes to that stage, it is a very, very difficult stage. You cannot win. So the Pakistan army must realize one thing: the use of military power is not going to work. Now, if they, I mean, to the best of our ability, our intelligence agencies and our ground forces will see that no terrorist attack takes place. But then you see things. A Pahalgam can always happen in a very big area. Something can happen. I don't rule out that possibility. But if they attempt something like Pahalgam, or the earlier attacks which they did, where we had to carry out the surgical strikes, or where we had to go in for Balakot, um, I think there will be consequences. So that has been made very clear, and I don't think India needs to keep reiterating it itself. The Prime Minister of India has made it very clear. Narendra Modi ji has made it very clear this is not a time for war. So he is not
Right.
going to start a war under any circumstances. But that doesn't mean that India is not prepared. And I hope they don't make that mistake. The consequences for Pakistan will be very heavy. That is one point. There's, this point about Afghanistan and Pakistan. Pakistan, I think, made the mistake when the Taliban came to power. They made that a big a mistake in understanding the situation. They thought because they had helped the Taliban to come to power, they had given them shelter for so many years fighting the Americans, that the Taliban will agree to the Durand Line. Now, it's not going to work. The Afghans will never agree to the partition of their homeland. That is a bottom line, regardless of whichever government is in power, whether it is a democratic government, a Taliban government, a monarchy, or any other government. That is not going to happen. So that point of friction, unless that is reconciled, there will always be friction between Afghanistan and Pakistan. That is the bone of contention. And if Pakistan thinks that Afghanistan is going to be their strategic depth, that in case of war they can base their assets there, I don't think the Afghans are going to permit it. The Afghans are not second-rate citizens. They are an independent country, and they will do things in the interest of the Afghan people. The way Pakistan is doing it in the interest of the Pakistanis, the Afghanis will naturally do it for their own country. So
Right.
for the Pakistanis to presume that Afghanistan will play second fiddle to them, that is not going to happen. That is another basic reason why this problem exists. So they've got their internal problems, they've got their external problems. India, very fortunately for them, is not a problem. Today, they can withdraw all their troops from their eastern front. They don't have to worry, and they know it. Yet they continue to blame India. That's, as I told you, they're an independent country. Carry on, but we are not responsible. It is their problem, and as I told you in my initial statement, they must handle it.
Right, and it's very ironical when you were speaking. There was this uh, picture of General Faz Hamid, the then ISI chief in Kabul, sipping tea. Why is it ironical? Because he, the same person, has been court-martialed and is in jail right now. It is it's an entirely different thing that has happened. This is those are the ironies and contradictions of that society. But let's hear what Khaja Asif actually said before we uh, take it further and go to Bilal Saab. Let's hear what Khaja Asif actually told that international media agency when he was specifically asked about this.
So now they are actually, what I said was, and I reiterate, that they are now waging a proxy war against Pakistan. Delhi and Kabul and all these outfits and terrorism outfits in Kabul, they are on the same page. And
meaning they act. I mean, Delhi is telling Kabul to strike
absolutely,
Pakistan.
Absolutely,
I mean, you have evidence of that. Those are very serious allegations, Mr. Minister.
It is a serious allegation because it is having serious consequences for us.
India denies this forcefully.
No, they'll not accept it. How can you expect from them to accept it? They'll keep denying it. But they enjoy a very good relation with Kabul, and now we are facing a proxy war, and we'll inshallah.
Is war with India still a strong possibility?
It is possible.
Right. Bilal Sahab blaming everybody, but not blaming themselves.
I will inflict on you. I just wanted to show your audience one thing. When the reporter asked him, "Do you have any proof?" He said he has no proof, right? So now you listen. Someone saying in Parliament, I will show you something. Okay, it's not coming. I mean, it is joke. Zaffar Iqbal Sahab, I told you many times, Pakistanis become a jokers front of the international media. Do you remember this is the same guy? He claimed we have a down 3 airplane profile. And when the reporter asked him, well, do you have any evidence? What he replied, I saw in a social media. So when a minister has such mentality, such thinking, so I don't think so we have to debate. And first of all, he is not a representative of the people. I'm really serious, General Saab. ये दुनिया ही अलग है. This Pakistan is totally a different planet. I mean, there is no democracy. Whenever their master, their army people want, this gentleman, Khwaja Asif, has lost the election. जब एक बंदा election हार चुका है, he has been taken by GHQ. People know he is the ये farm 47 का बंदा है. There is an election farm 47.
Yes. So for the benefit of our viewers, to explain farm 47, when Imran Khan was in the fray contesting, his party symbol was taken away. He was barred from contesting elections. So was his party. He was in the jail, but independents backed by Imran Khan contested the election, and they swept the polls. But then in the night, another thing was put into place. A Form 47 was used as a ploy to help those which the army backed to come to power and to ensure that Imran Khan is beaten in those elections. That's exactly what Form 14 meant. Right, Bilal sir?
No, Form 47, it's just like a paper. It is given to the all candidates, polling agents. When every candidate has a one polling agent in the polling station and during the election time in Pakistan, so polling chief presiding officer has to sign that form. but Pakistan hide that form and put another form. So these are the people coming
Yeah,
from the
these are all
different side.
tactics. These are all games
Yeah,
that are played.
exactly. And
These are all games that are played for the establishment to bring their own people into power. That's a fact. But General Saab, coming to another point, there is this Pakistani Prime Minister is meeting with Trump, and the Board of Peace is being established. How will Pakistan justify it? Because don't you feel that there will be a backlash within Pakistani society? How are they going to? Is it a tightrope war for Pakistan, or they don't really care for the people? When they jail the most popular leader, they rig the elections, they will also see how they will not really care? Or is it going to be a challenge for Pakistani establishment and the government?
For this board of peace, I'll just come to that. There's one thing in the interview which really struck me as amusing, where the defense minister says Afghanistan is doing it at the bidding of India. I mean, Afghanistan is not going to do it at anybody's bidding, even the American bidding. That they've been with the Afghan people for so long. They should understand Afghan side. Afghanis will never do anything at anybody's bidding. That is the bottom line. Now, getting down to this board of peace, and this close relationship between the political and military leadership of Pakistan with the United States, those meetings with President Trump and all that. I've always felt that the Americans will not be close to anybody. The Americans have got their interests. And so long as Pakistan serves those interests, America will welcome both of them with open arms. That's about it. As of now, America's interests are in Iran. They need bases in Pakistan and they need Pakistani airspace. And that is why this Field Marshal, the Field Marshal and the Munir and the Prime Minister were actually called there. And they would have been told very clearly what the Americans want and they will deliver. Now, on this board of peace, I think there's going to be very serious problems because once they get into that board of peace, and if they have to take any action against against the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, I think there is going to be huge repercussions within Pakistan because here we are having a Muslim country, a constitutionally Muslim country, going at the bidding of a non-Muslim country, a superpower, and killing other Muslims. This won't be taken well by the people of Pakistan, and there will be repercussions. And you will find that especially the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, the TTP, will get after them very hard. So they're very rough days ahead. This was something which Pakistan shouldn't have got into. But if the Americans tell them to put troops on the ground, I'm afraid they will put troops on the ground, and there will be very severe consequences for that action.
No, but they may not want to do it, but they'll do it to save themselves because they are an outcome of a rigged election. Field Marshal Asim Munir has given full sort of a cover to himself. He has promoted himself as a field marshal in the first place, and then all those constitutional amendments that have taken place. America is not hard on Pakistan for the release of Imran Khan or for his health condition. There are no statements coming from America. So that may be one of the reasons that why they are doing this in the first place without putting up any conditions, right, Bilal sir?
General Saab, I again told you, I think you forgot what General Zia did with the Muslim in Black September. Do you know this? 5 to 10,000 people they killed
Yep.
when King Hussein said, "Come." Whenever they give them money, General Hussein, America, whenever. This is the army who was a chowkidar of the Qatar when there was a World Cup. So they can do anything for the money. Like you said, America need them now. This is true for their some interest in Iran and some other countries like in Afghanistan. This is the reason he keeps shouting. But then in the real, even if you go to Afghanistan, you say I'm from Pakistan, they will hate you. So this is not the Indian that is saying to the Afghan people because what Pakistani army did with the Afghan people from the decades. They killed their children. They took books from their hand. They gave heroin. They gave them Kalashnikov. They gave them jihad. So this is the reality of that. I said again, and in your previous said, don't put your garbages, all garbages on the India. These are your people. These are your people you trained. These are the same Taliban. You are doing jubilation. You are doing people, soldier of the Allah, Mujahideen and ancient everything. And now you are saying something. And when I remember still when Taliban went in Afghanistan, these are the same people. They said India lost their billion something. India was accepting so many things. India spent so many money in Afghanistan. And now the same Khwaja Asif is weeping and blaming India for this. I told you, Zaffar Iqbal Saab, this is a banana republic. Honestly, they are putting their all failures, they are putting their all on the Indian thing that this is the India. But in the real, this is the Pakistan. This is the Pakistan. India never made any such type of the things in his whole history. India never trained for anyone, neither their own people nor other people for as a proxy. You remember when America asked Nehru and Liaquat Ali Khan, Nehru didn't go there, but Liaquat Ali Khan jumped and went to the Washington. So these are the people, just give them money, they are ready for do anything. I'm really sorry to use this word, just like a red light area. Where you go, they can do whatever they do. This is the reality. Even a minister himself said in the parliament that people are used as a tissue paper. I think no, nothing is rest.
Right. And that's a very recent statement. But, General Saab, you raised an important point that's about the Iran problem. This friction between Washington and Tehran that seems to be growing only, and there is no resolution as of now. We're seeing hard statements coming from both the sides. You hinted at uh, Pakistan giving those bases, if at all America needs those bases. But it is a problem that is going on. Americans destroyed their nuclear installations, but that has not ended it. We have seen another round of sort of statements coming from both the sides. How do you see that situation really developing?
Well, you see, Zafar Saab, it is like this. What America wants is for Iran to close down its nuclear program. That is the bottom line. They've also spoken of, restricting the missile range, but I don't think the missile range is a critical point in the negotiation. It is the nuclear program. Now, if Iran agrees to it, then there will be peace. This I've got no doubts. If there's a regime change, a new regime comes in and they'll agree to it, there will be very cordial relations between the United States and Iran. I have always maintained that if, in a sense, both Iran and the US are natural allies. And you will notice that before the Ayatollah came in, they were allies, and Iran had excellent relations with Israel also. But the problem with the Ayatollahs is that they have repeatedly said, and they continue to say so, that they will erase Israel from the ground, from the earth. They will obliterate them. Now, I have spoken to very senior people in Israel, and they say we take it seriously. They take it very seriously. If the head of the state is saying so, then we have to take it. And the only way they can be obliterated is with nuclear weapons. That is why the nuclear issue is important to Israel and the United States. So that is going to be the key issue. Now, in the earlier bombings, the nuclear sites were not destroyed. They may have been damaged partially, but they were not destroyed. I think the US wants a nuclear agreement. If there's an agreement, there will be peace. If there is no agreement, take it from me, they will be bombed. I don't know what shape that is going to take, because I think India is going to be very seriously impacted. We are going to be impacted because when war breaks out there, the energy resources which are coming to India get impacted. And the price of oil is going to rise substantially. So we are in a development phase. We want to become a Viksit Bharat by 2047. We don't want any wars anyway, But if it happens, then it happens. I mean, we are not strong enough to say that there'll be no wars in the world.
Right.
So, I mean, even America can't do that. So I think that is the state today. There is a very serious problem, and the problem is on the nuclear issue. It is just one point. The second point which has come up is really talking about this missiles. But as I said, I think that will be a bargaining chip. They'll say, okay, you keep your missiles, but the nuclear issue, there's no bargaining. On one point, which Bilal Saab made, on Jordan, yes, it was right when when the Pakistani troops went to Jordan at the request of the Jordanian government. I think thousands of Palestinians were killed. It was a massacre. But remember, that was a Muslim country asking another Muslim country to kill Muslims, which is slightly different. Here, it is a Christian country. Within Muslims, you can keep killing each other. Sorry, I don't mean to be insulting, but it won't create a disturbance in the Muslim world. But you have an outsider telling a Muslim country to kill another Muslim country. There is a different implication. So here, if the Americans, put these people into Gaza and the Pakistan and killings take place by the Pakistani military against the Palestinian people, I'm afraid they will not be forgiven. Number two, if they suffer casualties themselves, I think again the public is not going to forgive them. The Pakistan army is strong; they've got total control, yes. But ultimately, if the people get up, as they have done once earlier, even the Pakistan army will buckle down. There is only so much which weapons can do. Beyond that, there has to be very frankly, the Pakistan army has public support. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to rule so long. And they have public support because the politicians have been discredited. इमरान खान जो बहुत पॉपुलर लीडर है, मानते हैं बहुत पॉपुलर है, but he was also installed by the same army. He also came in through the back door. Everybody has come in through the back door. So they have a problem in their polity, and that is why the army is still there. Zaffar Saab.
Yes. And lastly, we're seeing those. Yeah, yes, Bilal Saab.
Question. I know it's not a pattern. I have seen you have given everything. I mean, they took their culture, their language from India because Pakistan didn't exist before 1947, like I told many times. Why they didn't learn discipline and the professionalism from you guys? I mean, from your army. Like I see the Indian army, this is totally a different world. And these people from the by birth, they didn't learn discipline and professional. What is the reason? What do you think? I'm really serious about it because I didn't find anything. These are the same army on the all around the world. When I see your army, your Indian army, totally a different world. What is the reason? What do you think?
No, I mean, if I can give this in a very simple word. You see, at the time of partition in India, the bulk of the administration and the political authority remained here. So that was the starting point. In Pakistan, actually, it was a very weak administration, there are very, very few bureaucrats, and a lack of polity. Except for Mr. Jinnah, who was all powerful, there was nobody. And when Jinnah died, there was nobody really to take control. So the politicians told the army to come in. And once the army was in, then it's very difficult to throw them out.
Yes.
I think that was really
And I think that level of difficulty has only increased over the years. The way that
manifold.
the way that the most popular leader of that country has been going through, one of his eyes has been blinded, 85% vision is gone, and international people, captains from other teams, are petitioning for giving him good treatment. There's no single Pakistani player on that list of petition. That tells a story in itself, the way that society is
But Zafar
drifting
Sahab, there
away.
is no any political mechanism in Pakistan so far from the decades. They are all the people. They are made by this same GHQ. Still,
So
you can name them. You can name them Nawaz Sharif, Zardari, even Imran himself coming from that pathways. So this is the I mean, unfortunate for the society. There is no any political system, all controlled by this army fascist. Everybody knows corrupt. These are not my words. These are the words from coming from the same Khwaja Asif. He has said this thing in the parliament. You remember that, I think. The
yes.
Khwaja Asif said same thing in his own parliament that this army has nothing to do to win the war. They are corrupt. They make Politicians, they control judiciary, they control media, they control
Yes,
each and
it
everything.
is. It is also a fact that many industrial units, many housing societies are
Pamper,
actually run
even
by
they
army,
make
which is
pampers, they can
yeah,
pamper
which is
cement to pampers.
which is rather unbelievable. But that is what it is, and that's how people will in the neighborhood will have to live with it and deal with it in the way that is best for
No,
them.
but Zaffar Iqbal sir, but my identity is being threatened because I am a Baloch. I didn't do any. What is my problem? Why people see as a terrorist whenever I go with the Pakistani passport? So, I mean, they are treating me like a Pakistani. We are not terrorists. We didn't do anything. But anyway, we are just hopeful. One day we will get independent from this fascist regime and everything. Let's see. We are hopeful.
We'll have to leave it here. General Katoch, Bilal, Saab, thanks so much for joining us today and for sharing your thoughts. And thanks to our viewers for watching the Mojo Story. Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.